Hello, my friends. This is Yelena Brezhneva, and we are here today connecting with you from beautiful and fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And I have a very special guest for you. Today, we are going to talk about real estate in Hawaii, and I have a fabulous Andrea Healey with you from Kauai, Hawaii. So she will share all the interesting data and information firsthand, streaming live for you from Hawaii. So, Andrea, you're live. Say hello.
Hi, Yelena. Thank you for welcoming me. Yes, I am on Kauai, this beautiful garden island. And I have to say, COVID-19 has been rough at the beginning because everything became really strict for us right at the start. During the month of April, we could not even practice real estate. We would get fined on MLS. But that was really good that our mayor implemented that. Derek Kawakami, an amazing mayor, and then the governor as well implemented those very strict rules to keep us safe. So Kauai is actually very safe. We haven't had any new cases in about 2 months, which remains at 21 cases. For the whole state of Hawaii, the other islands, it's about 676 cases of COVID-19. So, of course, Oahu, which is a city, a more crowded city, there's more cases, a little bit Maui as well, and Big Island, has a little bit less as it is more rural like Kauai. So Kauai is a rural island, lots of outdoor spaces, to play. For a while, we could not hang out, lay down on the beach, but we were able to walk and go fishing and go surfing. But and some state parks were limited. But since the last 2 weeks, beaches have reopened. We still have to wear masks in public areas and businesses. But since the last 2 weeks, the beaches have reopened. We can lay down on the beach, enjoy the sand, and restaurants, hair salons, parks are reopening slowly and cautiously. So it's been really good for local residents and economy. The only thing that's missing, and we're working on that, and this morning actually we had a meeting with our mayor, all the Kauai Board of Realty had a meeting with the mayor, is we're missing our tourism. But welcoming back the, tourism is also very risky because of all the cases of island. And I will show you through my presentations our top buyers and who's coming the most on Kauai. So you'll see why. Just want to give you a little also updates on what's happening for our island in terms of access, because I feel there's a big desire. I have clients and friends and family that just want to come here and enjoy their summer vacation. And a lot of people are getting out of the cities. I was watching your YouTube video with, I don't recall her name, from New York.
Melissa.
Melissa, yes, it was really good. People are getting out of the cities. They want space to enjoy the outdoor, but they want safety as well. Well, Kauai offers that. But we have a 14-day quarantine. So if you come in Hawaii, Kauai, or any other island, you're gonna have to go in a hotel and you won't be able to get out of your hotel room for 14 days.
Do you know how long this is going to stay? This rule?
So far, until June 30th. And we
Good
don't
to know, my friend. So if you come to Hawaii right now, 14-day quarantine, so you're pretty much spending, your vacation in your hotel room.
And that's a hotel rate because vacation rentals, short-term rentals, are not permitted right now. So that's the whole debate we're having, realtors, for our clients who have vacation rentals, who likes the income that they're renting during the high seasons, not being able to rent them right now.
So what is your high season considered usually?
That's what I was about to say. We have tourism all year round, but of course we're going to see a big boom on the roads with traffic, summertime, holidays, Christmas, March break. So we took a hit on the March break.
School schedule basically, pretty much, right?
Yes. And so we don't, so far it's not permitted until June 30th, the same as the 14-day quarantine. But we're really hoping that it can be loosened up, at least for residents, so we can have a little staycation. One more thing though, on June 16, inter-island people will be able to travel inter-island only without having to do the 14-day quarantine. So I live here. On June 16, I live here. I can go on Oahu or Maui or the Big Island and not have to do the 14-day quarantine. But
So
if you
is
come
it,
to
yeah, so question, so is it only between islands or is it even for the tourists?
only between islands, and it works for tourists if they've done their 14-day quarantine coming on the island. So that's the progression where we're going, and we're kind of testing the water a little bit like that. Because let's say you come on Kauai, you do your 14-day quarantine, then after you're good to go, you can explore the island and you can go on the other islands. But you have to do this first.
I see. Well, right now everyone is looking at summer vacation options. So I think our viewers will find this session today useful. First of all, it's already interesting to know what's going on in another state and in the beautiful Hawaii Island. Las Vegas always had a special relationship with Hawaii Island, and I'm sure this will be reflected in your presentation. So let's get rolling with your presentation.
Yes, okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. So let me move you right here. 1 second. There you go. So I'm gonna talk about the comparison to 2019 and the impact of COVID-19.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna compare versus last month, April, and versus May 2019, new listing versus sold one and active listings. Of course, I feel that June is actually the best month to get our data to see the real impact of COVID-19, because people who went into escrow in March probably closed, April, May. Our escrows takes about 20 to 30 days cash, and with a loan 45 to 60 days. So for a single family home, our median sales price has been 770 to 500. And there's been a little bit of increase of time on the market since last month. Our active listing, we have currently 227 active listings. So you can see we've had a decrease of new listings and a decrease of sold listings since last year. But overall, our median sales price has increased. And that is due to the lack of inventory, which I think is happening nationwide as well. In terms of condos, our median sales price has decreased, 350,000, and then our new listings and sold listing as well has decreased. So, and we have currently 205 active listings. Condos are taking a little hit because there's a lot of them, and a lot of them right now are also vacation rental, and you can do it right now. So I think owners are reevaluating their budget, their finances, to see how long is it gonna last? Do I hold on to it, or do I want to sell? And since there's more, there's more negotiation on that part. In terms of land, the median sales price has decreased as well since last month, and then we remain at the same amount of new listings, but we had a decrease of sold listings. There's currently 142 land for sale on Kauai. Now, compared to last year, so year to date, because the year is not over yet, we still have time for improvements. Compared to 2019, the amount of sales, I'll show you the amount of sales and the median sales price. For a single family home, you'll see we're at 181 amount of sales. Last year was 222, and our median sales price is actually already higher than it was last year. So I mean, it shows clearly there's a demand for single family home, and there's a lack of inventory. So the median sales homes priced at 765 or lower go really quickly, and above that, well, it sells well as well. There's a demand. Condos, there's a little difference from last year in amount of sales and median, but we're not too far off, I feel, if we're looking at the year overall, even with COVID-19. And then for land, we are 25 land sold, and last year was 74, and our median sales price is 440,000 for land year to date. So who comes to Kauai? This is our top foreign buyers from worldwide and in US. We're very much a global destination, which is fabulous. Canadian has been coming a lot. I don't know if they will keep going because the dollar has taken a hit. So I know it has made a difference for them, but it's good in the other end if they're selling here. So I think we'll see, we might see some Canadian, selling their property here to benefit of the dollar exchange. South Africa, Switzerland, and Japan. And then our top states that are buying here are Hawaii, inter-island, California, Utah, Washington, Colorado, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, Oregon, Florida, mainly the West Coast. So I know these guys are just waiting for us to lift our 14-day quarantine to come, enjoy the island, and see potential to buy properties. What do they buy? I mean, that you might wonder that. A lot of people like vacation rental because they can rent it when they're not there and use it when they come. I think the potential for the future with the circumstances is going to be really relocation and second home where you don't need to rent it. So second home, getaway, no, time restrictions for them. I mean, what I mean is they can stay as long as they can, and working remotely as well. So for second home or relocation.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking with Melissa from New York right now. Due to COVID, a lot of businesses been forced to stay at home, right, and work remotely. So, and that is starting a new wave of people who are looking to get out of the condo style living and get into a beautiful residential style living. And Kauai is one of those perfect locations for that.
Yes. And I think what's going to happen for Kauai is that 90% of the workforce is employed in tourism. So if it takes 2 to 3 years for tourism to return to pre-pandemic levels, there's going to be, there is a growing concern that our skilled labor force will start leaving the state. And then other states also, who are less dependent on tourists, will recover quickly. Many people may choose to find other jobs. So in the short term, inventory is expected to remain low with some growing inventory in the higher price range. But low due to the low inventory under the median sales home, the perceived safety of living on Kauai and crazy low interest rates, median home values are likely to continue increasing. Our fear is that if tourism isn't fully reopened as the federal support for unemployment runs out at the end of June, we may start to see families forced to leave the island to look for other jobs on the mainland. And then if we don't have the tourism and we lose residents, then we will see a lower demand for rental and house sales. I was not done. But Kauai is a beautiful place. And I know there's a demand for visitors and for people to have a second home or if they can work from home. So it's a good opportunity as well.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna stop sharing. I know I provide you with a lot of content. Do you have any questions? Has anyone have any questions?
Thank you, thank you. No, that was actually we love it. I mean, I don't know about other people. I love statistics. What can I say? And I love to see dynamics, and it actually gives you a very good background. I mean, it helps you see the shift. It helps you see the economy before and after. You know, it kind of gives you a broader perspective. You're able to see, you know, this month, last month, last year, and it shows it back in the perspective. Obviously, nobody knows how it's going to go, but we can see today that there's still shortage of the inventory, which is a lot of people, a lot of investors are concerned. If I buy now, you know, what if the prices drop later on? So this is the conversation I'm having with a lot of investors. You know, they're like, oh, we'd like to wait. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's gambling. I mean, waiting is always gambling. It's same thing with the interest rate. Is it gonna keep going lower? You're taking a risk.
Which is doubtful because interest rate is already at history low and right now it's very low.
Yes. You know, for my investor, what I tell them is like, if the property fits, you know, is a great fit and you really love it and you can afford it, why waiting? And let's just put an offer and let's negotiate. You know, I think people are less shy to negotiate now, maybe because I mean, yes, I feel it's a seller's market because the lack of inventory with single family homes. But I also feel that it might turn into a buyer's market with the limitation of um, of accessibility, which brings us to agents market, where you have to rely on your local seasoned expert agent, right? Because right now my clients can only rely on me to do the home inspection while we're in escrow, or to do buying sight unseen, or to look at the property and the neighbors because they can't come. And even if they do, they have to do the 14 days, and not everybody wants to do that.
Okay, I have a question on your regulations for your short-term rentals, and I know every state is different. So, for example, in Las Vegas, it used to be big, and then you know, its regulations changed, and some of the properties, all the properties were allowed, the new one were not. So, on your short-term rentals, so is it everywhere allowed to have short-term rentals? Are there any restrictions in certain zones that are not permitting that?
Yes, so we want to protect, Kauai wants to protect their residential areas, neighborhood. So we do have DDA, vacation designated area. Yes, we have those areas. They're mostly on the North Shore, Princeville, on the coast of Kapa, east side, and on the South Shore, Koipu. So we have areas where you have those transient vacation rental that we call TVRs. So some TVRs are in the conforming zone, and there's some that are in the non-conforming zone. So there are some transient vacation rental, short-term rental. Some of them, there's a list of legal ones outside of the zones. And then there's the zones, yes. And right now it's not allowed. Like if you rent, if the authorities hear that you're renting a vacation rental, you're gonna get fined.
Which is understandable, but obviously this situation will be resolved fairly soon, right? By the end of the
Yeah,
month.
they're working on it.
They're working on it. Okay, so next question. Do you have a minimum required stay? Like, do people do, you know, 2-3 days minimum required, or like, is it individually depending on the preference of the owner, or is there like common rule there?
It's at the preference of the owner, but I would say in general, it's a minimum of 3 days stay, just to make it worth, you know, the cleaning and um, the regular the the switch of renters.
I see. Okay. So, and I would assume that owners mostly using Airbnb to offer their properties, or do you have like local sites that would be promoting this type of rentals?
So actually, the county doesn't really like Airbnbs because they're taking away from hotels, but they're also taking away from TVRs, transient vacation rental. So Airbnbs are not allowed anywhere else than in the zone, in the VDA zone that I was telling you about. And it's not allowed right now either.
I
But
understand.
Airbnb that are operating in those zones, they can set their own rules if they want to do one night or 2 nights. So yes,
Gotcha.
it's possible to do less than 3 nights.
So
And we
individual.
also have a lot of beautiful campsites that you can get a permit for pretty cheap. That allows you to stay on the island and camp and live, you know, live the outdoors.
Beautiful.
There's a lot of free activities, outdoor activities that people enjoy here.
That is true. I mean, for me, I've been to Hawaii probably about, it's been already 5, 6 years ago, to be honest.
That's a good
But
fact.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I do remember Kauai, and I think it was a cruise. Yes, it was a cruise actually. Last visit was on a cruise, so we did all the islands, um, departing from San Diego, I believe. So that was a memorable journey. So, and I remember there's so many activities, there's horseback riding, and then you have all the beautiful beaches, and you have the sand beaches, and you have coral beaches, and then you have those turtle beaches. So you have absolutely beautiful nature that is always calling.
Well, what is special about Hawaii is that every island is a little bit different. So on the Big Island, it's more volcanic rocks and volcanic beaches. And Maui's, I feel, is a little bit of a mix of Oahu and Kauai. And Oahu is more city. Kauai is called the Garden Island because it's like a big garden, but it's also very biodiverse. So you have the beach, but then if you want to get cooler, you can go to the canyons and it's way cooler and you can hike there and there's forests and rivers. It's beautiful where you can also camp in cabins. And then we have, so yeah, from the forest and the canyons and the rivers and the ocean, there's a lot of diverse landscape to play around. It's
So
pretty.
if I were to ask you the price difference between Kauai properties, right, and the Big Island properties, are your properties approximately the same, or is there still prices in the Big Island?
Big Island is bigger and the territory is larger. Their prices are lower. Yes.
Lower.
Depending what development, well, yes. Their price is a little bit lower compared to Kauai. Maui, there's a mix. And then Oahu is higher prices.
Oahu still has a high prices. Oahu also has a higher population, correct?
Yes, definitively.
I think Oahu also is bigger and it has a higher population, but again, it doesn't have much of a land.
Well, there's some on the north shore of Oahu, but not as much as Kauai.
No.
They're about the same size, but Oahu and Kauai, but Oahu got this whole part developed with the cities, which we haven't done in Kauai. And we won't. We don't want that.
So what about residential rentals in Honolulu, Oahu? Is it also a big market for people, second home and rentals?
Yes, I think it's very similar than here. There's a lot of second homes, primary home residents, obviously, and visitors. So vacation rental. Yeah. A lot of people that will come visit here um, will will likely want to explore all the islands, and obviously they'll come back to Kauai because it's the best one. No, I'm kidding. But and we have some clients that own also properties on several ones as well. A little bit different. Kauai is very low key. The pace of life is very relaxed. It's not a place of fashion and nightlife. There's good dining, there's really cute shops, but it's you come here mainly to relax and be low key and enjoy romantic family time or personal time, self care, rejuvenation because of the nature. So when I hike or I walk around, I just feel sometimes in Jurassic Park. And I'm like, when is the dinosaur gonna come out?
I've seen your hike pictures. It was absolutely gorgeous. My friends, you could follow Andrea on Instagram. And she has this absolutely beautiful pictures, really like from the Jurassic Park on her Instagram page where she was hiking with her husband. It's oh my
Nathalie
God.
post. Yeah,
Yes,
thank you. It was fun.
makes you want even more to get out. I know after the restrictions are being lifted in phases, so people really have this desire to move, desire for freedom, just to feel yourself,
And-
get away from
and-
the feeling of stagnation.
Yes, exactly. And I feel that's why I think right now it's appealing to buyers because they just want to get out. They want to feel safe and have some freedom more than their backyard. So anyone who has the money, and actually the stocks are doing pretty good recovery since the beginning of COVID-19. I think it's a good time. It's a good opportunity to buy a second home or relocate. We get a lot of military because we have a base here, and then on Oahu as well. There's a Pearl Harbor. So we have a lot of military relocation, a lot of people working from home because many of our jobs is based on tourism or healthcare or education.
So you had a meeting today with the mayor, and before we say goodbye, give us, some prognosis. What are they saying? They're opening up the bases, how it's going to look for Hawaii.
They're really working hard on finding a way they're working and learning and trying to prepare the best they can to reopen back Hawaii to tourism. That was his main thing. I think they're really working on a safe way to welcome back the tourism and to allow them as well to stay in those TVRs, transient vacation rentals. So we don't know yet when or how, but I know that they're working on it. So we're hopeful, and in the meantime, we're trying to just provide as much updates as we can to our clients.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Andrea. Well, my friends, that was Andrea Healey from Kauai, Hawaii. So I hope you enjoyed our meeting today. Make sure you put a like, follow her on Instagram, check out her website, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you soon with Las Vegas